This is football.com, and the name of the show is called In My Opinion, and this is part 3 of my interview with number 40 of the Dallas Cowboys, Mr. Bill Bates. Get fired up for some sports talk right here on football.com. Let's talk about this real quick. You weren't drafted, correct?
I was not drafted. Yeah, you know how I played at Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
I always say there in Texas, the rear UT, even though I can't say that here.
You trying to get in trouble.
Yeah, I can't say this past couple of years, but anyway, started as a freshman and played 4 years there. So, I could play as in college, and I just didn't run a good 40-yard dash, and I wasn't fast, and I wasn't as big, and but I guess one thing they couldn't measure is the compete, and that's what you try to find is the guys that are just competitors, and of course guys who can play the game. But what's so great about this show that we've done with Michael, the Fourth and Long show, it is kind of my story. I mean,
exactly.
When I went to training camp, what they did back in the day was they signed as many players as they wanted. I mean, they had no limit on the players that they could sign. So the Cowboys always signed 150.
What?
Almost 200, and bring them in for 2 weeks.
Oh, my God.
Before the veterans came in.
Right.
So, training camp would start for the veterans like the 24th of July or something like that. We came in like July 7th. And so we'd work out and with the coaches, have scrimmages, do exactly, well, not exactly, but pretty close to what we're doing with the Fourth and Long show.
Uh-huh.
And then if they found some players that they could keep and let them come for when the veterans came in. And fortunately, I was one of those guys that was able to hang in there and make it to the training camp part with the veterans. And then it's a matter of what you do on the field and what you do in preseason games. So, they cut down drastically by the time the veterans came in, and I was very fortunate to be coached by Coach Landry, and my secondary coach was Gene Stallings, and just had great coaches that believed in me and gave me a chance. And when I went to training camp, I'd hold for extra points, I'd punt, I'd return kicks. I did anything that I was out early. I was always pushing the envelope to try to, just get out on the field. And fortunately, I made it on the field on kickoffs, and that's when Coach Landry and the other staff realized that I could play. And that got me a chance not only to play on special teams, but also to play in the secondary. And unfortunately, it's just hard to believe that I, ended up my dream lasting 15 years. So.
15 years, not drafted in the NFL, but played 15 years. That is just remarkable. Now, that tells us a couple different things. A, you have to have heart and you have to want it in order to play at that level. If you don't have either one of those, you're done. Okay?
Question.
Because you can have all the talent you want, but if you don't want it and not willing to work for it, you won't be there long.
That's exactly right. I saw and